YouTubers, Bill with American Liberty Fighters here. Happy Friday. It's the end of the day and I've snuck a plate out. She doesn't know I've done this, Joe. So I've got to hurry, but I wanted to show you that, well, I brought something home today. I saw your video the other day. You kind of upped the game on me on that. So I've got to up the game on you. I've got to hurry because she might come out and catch me. It's the before dinner treat. Strawberry filled and maple glaze. So, I'm not gonna waste a whole lot of time. Mouth's already watering. I don't know. What about you? Man, oh man. So I think she sees me. So we'll finish those later. I told her I was coming out to do my video. I didn't tell her I was coming out to eat my donut while she makes dinner. I know it's not a healthy thing, but hey, they're pretty good, and I don't typically eat a whole lot of donuts anymore. So, my video yesterday, I kind of asked about, if anybody had any comments, any kind of suggestions for me to do some videos. And there were a couple of suggestions. One of them was, and I might try this later when I get out on the homestead, but both of them actually. I could do the one beforehand, but the other one I probably couldn't do. It's the whole Bill Rambo type deal where I'm hunting down squirrels with my knife. Yeah, Joe, I don't see any squirrels out here where we're at. I did see a few out there on the property, so maybe I can do that later. And hey, if you come for another visit, maybe we can go and do it together. That would be a video, wouldn't it? The other suggestion was that I kind of talk through some of my ideas and my plans on the homestead of what I want to do. And I think before we get there, since we're still transitioning to that point, to getting up there, we've got about a little over a month left before we're going to be up there for good. That's a real good idea, and I appreciate that suggestion. And I'm probably going to use that, do a couple videos about what some of my plans are. But I think today, now that we've got the donut goodness kind of out of the way, and I'm going to try to do this real quick because I want to finish the donut before I go in. Maybe I should talk about transitioning from having a job, making your decision to move off grid or move somewhat off grid, and having to decide whether or not you're going to do a permanent move that will force you to make a decision to leave your job or not, and how that, how hard it is to do that. For me, I've always had a job ever since I was old enough to get a job. I had a newspaper route when I was a kid. I worked in the bus barn for my school. I helped the mechanics doing minor stuff on buses and trucks for the school district. I cleaned buses. I filled them up with gas. I worked as a dishwasher at a restaurant, as a busboy at a restaurant. I was a pizza delivery guy. You know, even I used to work at Mr. Gaddy's and deliver pizzas and make pizzas. Let's see. I mean, I worked at of course I was in the military, and when I got out of the military, I went and got a job and worked in a manufacturing plant for agricultural equipment, where we fabricated all the parts to make agricultural machinery. And then I came back home here to Texas and started working in the telecom industry again. So I've never had a moment in my adult life where I haven't had a job where I haven't actually worked for somebody else in some way. So for me, it's a difficult transition, because you're going from having a steady paycheck every month or bi-weekly. We get paid bi-weekly. And you're going into the unknown. And I don't know how anybody else feels, or if you've gone through this, or if you're contemplating going through this. My wife and I we've planned, we've talked it over, we've tried to figure things out, and we've tried to make moves to where it wouldn't hurt so much to lose a paycheck. Pardon me. So it's been a bit difficult to deal with, for me at least, at this point, the reality that there's going to be a transition from working, having a steady paycheck, to not working and kind of trying to figure out the next step. It was very disappointing that my company decided what they did, not to keep me on. But, I mean, maybe it's for the best that happens. Who knows? They may come back later and change their mind. I'm not quite sure, but I guess it's the fear of the unknown that makes people stop and not actually take that leap of faith. And I think for my wife and I, we're trying to I'm trying not to fall back into the same mode that typically I would, where it would be, this is too much of a struggle for me, this is going to be very difficult, or I don't like change in this way, so I don't think I'll do it. Now I'm at that point where I'm going to go ahead and take that leap. There's nothing to hold me back anymore. My company knows what my plans are. They don't know when. They just know that now that I've talked to them and told them what I'd like to do, that they had to make a decision, and now I have to make a decision. So them telling me no, they won't keep me on remotely, isn't going to keep me from going and living on my homestead and start homesteading, living on the property and to start homesteading. So I guess, when you're at a company for 18 years, they tend to think that you're never going to leave, and you tend to think that, or you'll tend to start feeling comfortable. I've felt very comfortable where I've been working. I enjoy my job most of the time. I like the challenge of it all. don't necessarily like every aspect of my job anymore. I'm not totally enthused about going into work all the time. And now that I've decided what I'm going to do, it's even harder to wait and not just jump and go. So maybe this is my phase in life of learning how to be patient so that I can continue to be patient. Maybe I just needed to practice a little more. I don't know. For anybody else who's thinking about doing this, really plan it out. Know what you're doing. Know what you want. Don't settle for anything less than what you want. And when you get to that point, I guess just take a step. Take it a step at a time and continue forward. That's kind of what we're doing right now. We're just taking it a step at a time and continuing forward. I'm not going to step back. I mean, we're not going to have everything we wanted to have when we move out there. We won't have a tractor, most likely, not right off the bat. But I mean, we're going to have a cabin. We're going to have buildings that we can work in, or workshops. We're not going to have a bunch of debt hanging over us. So, I mean, all in all, this is going to be a good move, and it's just going to be an adjustment. And I guess maybe I'm just talking this through, and maybe it'll help me to settle in a little better. Like I said, I've not been one that's really welcomed change in my life. I've taken chances before a few different times, so this is nothing different than that, but at the same time, we're stepping out into an unknown area. Neither of us have lived this far out in the country. I've lived in the country. I've done a lot of different things. I've been around livestock before, but it's been years. I've hunted before, but it's been a long time. And there's a lot of things I need to get used to again, get back into. I would say probably if you're thinking about doing off-grid or moving out into the country and living a more self-sustaining lifestyle, that you watch some of the channels out there that really actually are doing those kind of things, and glean as much knowledge from them as you can. Reach out to these people out there, because there's a lot of them that do this. That's what we've done. We've started planting herbs and vegetables and seeing what we can grow and what we can't grow, and trying to figure out why we couldn't grow what we wanted to grow. So we've done a lot of that stuff. We've done seed starting. My wife has done more of that than I have, but I've worked on gardens before. That was what I did when I was a kid too, for my family. My parents did that. My father was raised on an apple orchard, so I can always ask him questions as well. And we're we're wanting to plant different species of trees on our property anyhow, so that might be good. I guess I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get this started, and I'm that kind of person that when I've made my mind up and I can't do it right away, it grades on me. And I get very impatient, and I'm trying to stay as patient as possible and not rush in and make mistakes. So I don't know. But I mean, if anybody else has done the same thing, if you've had a full-time job and you've actually walked away from that job to live out, I'd say, your lifelong dream of living on your own, self-sustained, self-sufficient. You know, you make money on your own for you, and you're not making money for somebody else and then getting the leftovers from them as an employee. Then you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll understand what I'm saying. Anybody who's thinking about this and you're really contemplating it, I mean, it's not the most difficult thing, but it isn't the easiest thing to do. But ultimately, for me, it's doable. I'm going to do it, so anyhow, I'm not quite sure what else to say, so, and I've got to go in, finish my donuts, and eat dinner. So, thanks for watching my video, and I will start kind of putting some stuff together for the plans that I have. I mean, we want to do some apple trees. We want to do some different kinds of trees. We want to do some blueberry bushes, things like that. I'm probably going to go with getting some guineas and chickens, even though guineas are loud, obnoxious, and anytime I watch a YouTuber out there that's got guineas and they're going off, all I can think of is shoot the bird and put it out of its misery. And I mean, if those things eat ticks and they keep the tick population down and they will eradicate ticks, we're already gonna use Sevin dust. We're already using diatomaceous earth, and if you add the guineas in there, I mean, there's no way that we would have ticks at that point. So I'm really ready to get back into woodworking. I haven't done that since I was, I mean, I haven't done it a lot since I was a teenager, and I enjoyed it then. It's just, you grow up, you get a job, you get out there in the world, and you start doing things, and you run out of time to do the things that you really enjoyed. And now, I mean, this is my 50th year. October, I'll be 50. I'm going to get the opportunity. We're going to take the opportunity in order to live our lives instead of working for our life. And I'm happy that there's anybody that's willing to join me on that journey. So anyhow, I've rambled on enough. Leave some comments below. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Share my video with others. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'd really appreciate it. And until the next video, have a great Friday evening.